And that's probably the best way to extract the vocals. There is nothing more you can actually do. It's way too early, way too windy, way too cold, disgusting. But there's actually something that bothers me way more than the weather. I wish I could just skip the next hour or so. I'm at the worst possible place on Earth. I survived. Got breakfast, can't really talk, so first up, emails. It's a lot less numb, but now the pain is starting to kick in, and the doctor said something about ice. And that's definitely not my first. I also had these, really good. But now let's get to like the tutorial part for today. I yesterday started explaining how you can extract any vocal out of any track, and there are actually 3 basic techniques you can apply depending on the source that you have. More and more emails. Day's getting better. So the first case would be actually if you have a track where the vocals are in one certain point on their own. You just cut them out, make an edit out of it, or use them in any way you want. That's super simple, don't have to explain more about it. The second technique has to do with position. In most tracks the vocals are in the middle and the other elements to the sides. In old tracks, like when stereo was a new thing, you even sometimes have like the instrumental on one of the speakers and the vocals on the other one. In this case you just erase the instrumental track, use the mono part of one of the speakers where the vocals sit. In the case where the vocals are in the middle and you have the instrumental around it, you actually need to do a couple of little tricks to get it out of it. I just got here a small snippet out of my own tracks just to not get in any trouble with YouTube. Then you will need a plugin that can alter the mid and side signals separately. I would just use the Logic EQ because it's built right into Logic, and they have implemented this feature just a small while ago. You can also use the Brainworks plugins, and I think also Waves has some where you can separately change the sounds. I also think the Isotope plugins let you create bands and also create bands for the mids and sides. Just go and click here where it says stereo and change it to side only. This way you can change the side signal. So let's play the track and lower the side signal. Would then just add another EQ and go right into the mid signal, or basically if it's right after the other EQ just leave it at stereo, it doesn't really matter, and get rid of the bottom end where you just have the kick and the bass. The vocals usually start maybe right around 200 Hertz, and you can also take away a little bit of the high end because the human voice doesn't really play in the very high and very low. You could also go in here and try to boost the vocals a little bit. With this technique we now have something we could use for an edit, but if you really want to extract the vocals, it depends on the original track. If we had like an acoustic track just with the guitar spread to the sides, the vocals in the middle and nothing else, this technique would already result in something that is usable. The third technique will give you the best results, but you need actually something for it, and that's an instrumental version of the original track. You kind of flip the face of the instrumental and then play it back with the original track with the vocals in it, and then you end up with the difference of the track, which is just the vocal. But let me show you really quick how it's done right after finishing the next package of ice. Let's drag into Logic the instrumental version, and then using in utility the gain plugin, and then just playing it back and hitting here phase invert for left and right, and you will hear that the instrumental is gone by quite a lot. And then I would again try with an EQ to further isolate the vocals. That's by far the best way to isolate the vocals out of a track. It might be not the perfect solution you were looking for, but that is as good as it gets, because an audio file is something really complex and the vocals are in between with a lot of other elements. There is no other way to extract them. That's as good as it gets. It might work better on some tracks, on other tracks it might not work at all. Also be careful if the instrumental got mastered in a different way. You will end up with a worse result, because like the voice is also pushing the limiter and altering the track. That's why we don't get like a perfect match on this one. I could bounce it out of Logic without the master chain and get a better result, but usually you won't find unmastered tracks out there where you can extract the vocals and also have the instrumental available. But these are really the only techniques left you can apply. If you know of any other techniques to further improve it and get vocals out of it, let me know. But it's something that is really difficult to do. It's really baked into the sound. If you're really interested to get the vocals out of a track, another option might be just to re-record them. Try to find a singer and just let them redo it and then use it. You then just have to clear, but actually in both cases you have to clear the copyrights and ask the owners if you're allowed to release it. You can't get away with just putting it up on SoundCloud and maybe nothing happens. Maybe something happens. That's really up to the owners if they even find out about you using it. Be careful with it. Now it's just time to work on new music. I want to finish another track, and the promotion phase of the fall track is actually starting, so quite busy with the business side of things. Another really successful, productive day ends, and it was a whole lot of fun, except maybe for the start of the day. This wasn't really nice, it still hurts. More ice could help to solve that. There's just so much choice. And just in case the ice doesn't help, a little bit of my favorite special medicine.